Alrighty, troops. I'm the orange, I'm a carrot here. Oh shit, it's... Alright, welcome to another one of Gabe's Clips. What a fucking game. What a game. What a game. Anywho, I just want to go over something that's happened today and refer back to something that's been happening for a long time. A long time. Relatively recently. Apart from listening to this Ash. Right, 3 weeks ago, Rise of the far right in EU continues. Portugal, the numbers that the far right parties hit record numbers. You've got Wilders, Netherlands, Le Pen, France, the Hungry guy. They've got election victories in Sweden as well, but I do need to go and look into the details. Over there on the left, you'll see the percentage of the vote that far right parties are getting nowadays, all dotted around Europe. Go and do your own research. Google it, and I dare to read the first page search results. But anyway, it is happening. The political pendulum is shifting, not only here in the UK, not only here in Great Britain, but fucking in Europe as well, worldwide even. What do you mean even? Donald Trump shows the pendulum's shifting in America, and when America farts, the rest of you smell it. Pretty sure that's the same, isn't it? That's the same. When America farts, we smell it. So let's see what's happening today. Apart from fucking a great old firm, which we should have won. Anyway.
That's Jane. Now, Slovakia has a new president, Peter Pellegrini, who won Saturday's vote. He won by a greater margin than expected, following a campaign which was overshadowed by the war in Ukraine. Mr. Pellegrini favours peace talks with Russia and...
Right, so can you see where the pendulum he's at? Pardon me, can you see the pendulum? The political pendulum? You know what? I know this, but I'm going to... It's East Europe, I know, but I don't know exactly. Slovakia. Right, I want to nail this shit down. I love my maps. But I know it's East Europe, I just don't know how close to Ruski it is. Hungary, right, it's north of Hungary, right, I get it. It's ex-Soviet state, I knew that. It shares a border with Ukraine. It's interesting. It's very interesting, actually. Make it up what you will, but I find it very interesting, especially putting the context. Just the thing that I can't find right now. Just the changing political landscape in Europe. I'm not telling you to agree, disagree, support the left, support the right, do anything. Do what the fuck you want. It's changing though. You must be able to see it, and it's changing, in my opinion, because of the shitstorms, the shit shows the social medias predominantly has pointed everybody's attention to, and if you point everybody's attention to shit shows X, Y, or Z, I would argue you could use appropriating those causes to steer people politically. I don't even think that's a mega conspiracy or anything. I think that's what politics is. Oh shit. Who's that prick? That's not what I wanted.
Described his pro-Western opponent as a warmonger. Well, for more on that vote, let's go live to Rob Cameron, our correspondent who joins us from neighbouring Prague. Rob, when we were talking about this...
Is that guy's name Cameron? Told you, Scotland rules the fucking world. We've got our own journalists up here. Apart from STV's wee American prick that does the Westminster reporting, which sticks in macro. But apart from that, we've got our own barrage of journalists up here, and we fucking dominate the press down in the shitty of London as well.
Vote yesterday, we were sort of talking about how this was crucial because of the situation in Ukraine. Now we've seen Peter Pellegrini, who favours closer ties.
Right, I'll be honest. See, when I hear that guy's name, I want to go and get a sandwich. Don't know why his name makes me hungry.
With Russia win, what do you see that leaves Slovakia's position with that war?
Well, I think it really cements Slovakia's position as no longer one of the most steadfast allies of Ukraine. I mean, this.
Right, hold on. Right, this is a major fucking thing. Right, Slovakia, is that part of NATO? Slovakia is right. Remember AI people, AI. Slovakia, member states. Please just give us a list, preferably in alphabetical order, although I do. So Slovakia is a member of NATO, joined in 2004. It's a smaller country than Scotland, populationally speaking, and it's an ex-thingy state. And where was it on the map? Where's the map there? There's Slovakia there, just north of Hungary. And remember, Hungary's where Jim Dawson and Nick Griffin have white enclaves, have white onlys, and they've been flooding. They've been putting military-esque equipment into Hungary to fight off the big bad muzzies coming in over the border. Because they're saving Christendom, y'all. Right, so you got to love the bigger picture, eh? Got to love the bigger fucking picture. Let's get back to this Scottish guy with an English accent.
This is a country that less than 9 months ago donated its entire fighter jet fleet of retired MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine. Then in October, Mr. Fico, the Prime Minister, came to power on a platform, on a pledge of promising to send not one round.
Right, you've got a big... They just said retired planes. Junk. Here, Ukraine, you want these pieces of shit? We're done with them. And it saves us having to fucking dismantle them and all that kind of shit. You can just take them and let them get blown up after the Ruskies. It's a good deal.
Of ammunition to Ukraine, ending the sending of Slovak army stocks to Ukraine, and now this has been cemented by his ally, his man, winning the presidential election and quickly making it clear that he favours peace over war and maintaining that line that is very much Mr. Fico's line, that the West...
Right, this guy favours peace over war. Watch the BBC demonise him because he favours peace over war. Mental. Some Slovakian fucking shit-ass fucking dish. Mental Oriental. I fucked that up, but the intent was there.
Its policy of sending more weapons to Ukraine is prolonging and not resolving this conflict.
Fascinating.
What? That's fascinating! Putting bombs and bullets into a war zone. It's prolonging the war. That's an interesting theory. Let's see this Oompa Loompa looking woman who speaks out the side of her mouth. And I don't know about you, my great granny always told me never trust anybody who speaks out the side of their mouth.
Stuff, and we've just been hearing from Volodymyr Zelensky, who said this afternoon Ukraine will lose the war if US Congress does not approve aid.
See, if I was one of the Western leaders, man, I would want Zelensky to do a dance, one of his ballroom numbers for his weapons. That's exactly what I would dictate.
Of course, Mr. Zelensky for many months now has been calling on other nations to ramp up support to Ukraine. What was the conversation then during that election campaign around this?
Well, it was a very bitter conversation, and one marked by a great deal of fake news, in fact, because when Mr. Pellegrini surprisingly emerged in second
I want a sandwich.
place in the first round. He didn't win the first round. That was won by the seasoned diplomat Ivan Korchok. When he came second, the Pellegrini campaign and the government camp embarked on a campaign, a smear campaign really, against Mr. Korchok, claiming that he would send Slovak boys off to fight in Ukraine, despite the fact that the office of President of Slovakia has no such constitutional power to do so at all. So clearly the Ukraine war dominated this election, and Mr. Korchok, who lost this election this weekend, says that the election was won on a lie, essentially, and that fake news helped to swing it.
Right, so the guy that's for peace, not war, is now getting demonised by the BBC. Woo! Yeah, baby! Mwah! Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it, man. What is the famous saying? I'm pretty sure there was a book or some shit. War is a motherfucking racket. And Rangers are going to win the league.
So clearly that's an indication of
We're
the
going to
temperature
win the
of the
league.
political debate here in Slovakia, not just in domestic politics, but international politics and the war in Ukraine as well.
Fascinating stuff, and thank you for explaining the relevance to what's happening in Slovakia to the wider world. Rob Cameron joining us from Prague. Thank you very much.
Fucking hell, another fucking Scot gone bad. Don't get fooled with his English accent. You don't bounce around with a name like Cameron without wearing a kilt. Anyway, so there we go, man. The political landscape is now changing in Slovakia, which is right next to Hungary, and you can see that a lot of the ex-Soviet states, in fact, like, let me see, was there a wee thing here? Let me see. What was I thinking? Oh, right, that's it. Right, look at the flags. Right, look at Slovakia and Slovenia, for example. Look at the flags. Does it remind you of anything? Right, these are ex-Soviet states. That through the divide and conquer of the United Nations have been dragged into the Western fold. The West is folding. The Western fold is folding, and thus motherfuckers in those rat holes are jumping ship. That's why I called them rat holes. You know, rats jump ship. Yeah, anyway, so NATO isn't as strong as it was. Let's have a wee look in NATO, right? Albania, fuck's sake, man. Maybe that's why all the fucking reprobates are coming over to the UK and setting up shop as gangsters. Belgium. Right, Estonia. You could say... I don't know better. Anyway, Estonia, you could say that they might have still some Russian influence within their political structures. What am I looking for? Institutions. Same with Finland. All being like ex-Soviet states. And like as the Cold War came to an end and the NATO expanded, gobbled up a lot of the ex-Soviet states, the Soviets would have pulled out. I would argue there would still be some influence or elements within some of their institutions that would lean towards the Ruski side of the argument. And I think that's becoming evident. Hungary as well. Anyway, I'm not going to go through it, right? But it's very interesting. Oh my god, what's she done herself? Fucking hell. She needs a good night's sleep. But the rise of the far right continues. Slovakia just had a victory for elects a new president who wants peace with Ukraine, which means by the Western standards, and I mean that in the literal sense, the Western standards, that means they're pro-Russia, or they're going to get painted as pro-Russia. Anyway, 3 each. What a fucking game. Get it? Got it. Good. Good cheese. No cats or cheese were used or harmed in this filming.
Cips, clips.
And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.